Welcome to today's on-air broadcast, live from the Empire Board of Realtists in Atlanta, Georgia. Today we are celebrating Realtist Week. What is Realtist Week? Realtist Week is a celebration of African American real estate professionals that are part of the Empire Board of Realtors, as well as the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. Thank you for the sweet whisper. I'm here today with Carlton H. Morris, attorney at law. Are you an attorney?
Yes, I am an attorney with the Shipping Morrison Ross. We're members of the Empire Board, and we've been members of the Empire Board and the National Association of Realtors since 1985. It's been an organization that's been very supportive of many of the activities throughout housing for the metropolitan Atlanta area, and I've been glad to support the organization through that period of time. From that, I've been able to meet a lot of real estate professionals, not just real estate agents and real estate brokers, but loan officers, appraisers, home inspectors, people who support the organization. It's through this organization that I've met termite inspectors who've been very instrumental in helping us get deals closed. Through them, I've met surveyors. And through that network, we've been able to support the goals and the missions of democracy in housing.
Democracy in housing is one of the primary focuses of the Empire Board of Realtors. As an attorney, tell me what your role is in the real estate industry.
Our role is really to get the deals closed. True, anybody can sit at a table and watch somebody else sign documents and notarize them and witness them and go on down the road.
Is that what you do? You just stamp it?
Anybody can do that. What the expertise comes is knowing when a transaction really needs more and to be able to pick up on that. There are some times when you've got to figure it out. Are the people who are there at the closing really legitimately representing the sellers, representing the buyers? You've got to figure out when the properties don't meet each other correctly because of legal descriptions that overlap. You've got to figure out how to get that solved.
Legal descriptions that don't
Yes.
meet each other. Give me sort of an example of that, because I really can't
understand that. Well, in the past, each person always got a survey of their property, and the surveyors would actually come up with what the descriptions of the property was. A lot of people don't do surveys anymore. They feel like that's an extra expense. And because of that, sometimes you have legal descriptions for properties that overlap each other.
Okay.
Right? And it takes somebody who really understands that that overlap exists to figure out how to cure that problem. You've got other situations where when we do a title examination to make sure the title is free and clear, we find out that there are old mortgages that encumber the property that have never been canceled of record, that have not been satisfied. Nobody's knocking on the owner's door saying, please satisfy this mortgage, but the title isn't clear. And
so if you have that, and I apologize, but if you have that, if you purchase that property and you have all of this legal paperwork, are you then the owner now responsible for those old mortgages?
You now have a property that doesn't have clear title. And because you have property that doesn't have clear title, if you then try to sell it to somebody else, so you try to get a refinance transaction, you might end up with challenges and problems. You want to make sure that when you purchase a property, everything is good. There are people who don't use attorneys to do their closings. And here in Georgia, you're supposed to use attorneys here in Georgia. But there's a significant portion of people that says, I don't need to bother with that. I know who my seller is. We'll just do a quick claim deed, and we'll take care of that. And sometimes people end up with problems.
Okay, and that was actually what I was getting at, because of course if you go to a professional, they will notice that the titles aren't clean, or there are mortgages that are still open on that particular property. But if you trust your homeboy, you may end up SOL. So it's imperative that you go and see an attorney.
It would be more prudent to do that than not to do that. And so we handle those type of things. We do title examinations. We also do tax reviews to make sure all of the property taxes for the property are paid. In the city of Atlanta, there are situations where you also have to get sanitation bills paid and water bills paid. And we have a staff of people who make sure all of those things are done. If you're buying a property that's in a condominium association or has a homeowners association, you want to make sure all of the homeowners association dues are paid, and that you do all of the things for the transfers. So we coordinate a lot of activities that get done with the closing, and we try to do it in a fairly short period of time. Many times we're called at the end of the loan approval process.
So is that too late?
It's not too late, but it requires coordination, and it requires people who are dedicated to making sure your transaction is done. And that's what we do at Shipping Wilson Ross.
You just gave me a headache.
Well,
all of this legal jargon. I don't know. I just want to buy a home.
Okay.
That's why we go to the professionals.
Yes.
That's why we go to the professionals. So tell us where people can find information about your company.
Our telephone number is 770-991-0000. But a lot of people don't call. They go online, or they send emails. Our web address is at www.smr-law.com. And you can contact me at Carlton, CARLTON, Morse, MORSE, at brockandscott.com. You'll notice that that's a different name. Our firm recently merged, and we are now Brock and Scott, formerly known as Shipping, Morse and Ross.
Okay, so again, Carlton, Morse, are you one of the partners?
Partners, yes.
Okay.
Sure.
I learned something from watching. I forgot the name of the show, but it's a TV show. So I learned that from the TV show, that you have to use your name when you have a law firm. You can't make up a name like Shoe Brothers. So that's interesting in the law profession. But thank you so much for participating in today's conversation and sharing your information. And you must do this all the time, because you had your spiel ready. I felt like I was just unnecessary.
Oh, you're not. What we really want to do is make sure that when people are making an investment in real estate, many times it's the largest investment that they make, and we want them to be safe and secure in making that investment.
I feel safe and secure, and I feel happy that you're there to protect us. Right. Thank you so much, Carlton. And we have a young lady coming up from Carol Seaton. Oh, Seaton. I'm sorry. The Clayton County Board of Commissioners. Okay.
That's it. And I'm in the Community Development Department, the HUD Programs Division.
Oh, okay. So tell us a little bit about what you have going on and how you got involved with the Empire Board of Realtists.
Well, I manage the Neighborhood Stabilization Program. Many people have heard of NSP. We've been buying the foreclosed homes, rehabbing and reselling. We started in 2009, and we came and joined as affiliate members of the Empire Board when we started the program.
Okay.
Because We have asset managers that buy and rehab, but we want every real estate agent to sell our houses, and that's what's helped our program be one of the best in the area. We've sold over 200 houses in these last 4 years, and almost all of our sales are by other agents who come. We have listing agents, but it's the other agents who bring the buyers and sell them. So we've worked with the Empire Board, so all their realtors have a chance to know this is a great product to sell. So NSP is still going along in Clayton County. We have started something new. We are building some new homes. So that is a change in the program. So people can watch our website. It's ClaytonNSP.com. So we list our houses there, but new construction in the south part of the county, and in a few months then in the kind of northeast in the Ellenwood area.
Now, one of the previous interviewees told me that there is a new shift in the market. There's not a lot of resale, but a lot of growth in the development aspect of real estate. And so this program specifically speaks to that need.
That's exactly right. Our inventory in NSP is down right now because while you drive around and see vacant houses, we haven't been able to purchase them.
Okay.
The banks are holding on to them, or the person's just left. We see that there's not as many available to purchase even through the HUD site.
Okay.
So, but we looked at the market, so there's some vacant lots, and the need now is for some new construction. So we've moved into doing that. We'll still be buying the other houses. So every month our website will change with some new houses. So that's NSP that a lot of people have heard about. The other program that we run from our office, I think, is the broader one. It's called Down Payment Assistance. So you do have income limits on that. You've got to be qualified with one of our lender, but you can look at any house in Clayton County. You go find the buyer finds their own house that they want to buy, and it's $5,000 for down payment assistance and closing costs. So they split however is needed for that transaction. But
So
that
you guys offer a $5,000 support
to
for
help.
down payments as long as you qualify.
Right.
And how do they go about qualifying?
They go to that same website, ClaytonNSP.com, and there's a tab that says, how do I qualify? And that will list the income limits. That'll tell them the lenders to go to, the steps they need to follow for either program. And that's why we use the same lenders, because the ideal, what HUD would really love, is for you to go and find out what you're qualified to buy before you go find a house. A lot of people do it backwards, but that's sort of it makes more sense. Go find out. I can get a mortgage. I can get a mortgage for $85,000, or I can get a mortgage for $150,000. Then you know which house to look for. If they get qualified with that lender, they can start looking. If they find an NSP house, they're fine. If they don't find one, but they find their other house, they're already set. So we merged the programs enough to use the same lenders, so people wouldn't get qualified with one and then not find that kind of house. So this way they can look anywhere in Clayton County, try to find the best house that's in the area they want, that's the size their family needs, and it's in their price range, and still get assistance in buying them. When you purchase an NSP house, you also get down payment assistance.
Okay.
So most people, we're finding there's still people out there paying more in rent than what their mortgage might be, or at least the same. How do you save that $5,000 if you're paying, what you need to pay? So we want to provide that assistance so everybody's getting into a home and not, having a little bit of cushion maybe, or being able to afford what they're purchasing.
Now, do you find that there are more people spending a lot more on rent than they would have to spend on a mortgage?
It's varied. Some people are about the same, but the rents have been going up, and while the mortgage interest rates have been low, we have seen people having a mortgage with their interest and taxes and everything be less than what they were paying in rent.
Okay.
A lot of people are pretty even, but that definitely then they're purchasing something that we're seeing values start to creep up. So purchasing a home now, and hopefully in 5 years it's going to be worth a lot more than what you paid for it. And so we're seeing that it varies around places, but all the values are slowly coming up.
So by now,
That's right.
by now, this was the past couple of years were opportune times for you to buy. You might not have had any money.
That's right. But now it's still a good time to buy before the interest rates are probably going to go up early next year more, and before the prices keep going up.
Okay. And again, I love that your website is so easy to remember. There's no dot dashes and blank, blank, blank. So say it again, and I love that you keep saying it, because repetition is what makes people remember.
We
right?
tried to make it very easy. ClaytonNSP.com.
All right.
It makes it easy to find.
All right. Well, thank you so
Well, thank you
much.
for having us.
Is there anything else that you'd like to leave with the general population?
No, we are just excited in our Office of HUD programs to be able to run programs that are helping people out in the community. And that's very fun to get to have a job where you help people. So.
Well, we are helping people get to know the Empire Board of Realtists right here in Atlanta, Georgia. We are currently celebrating 75 years of community service, and we have a campaign called EBR 75. If you are participating online via social platforms, use the hashtag EBR 75 to interact with the organization on all social platforms. Right now we have Raquel Wells. Are you from the Bahamas?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
From
okay.
Atlanta, from Dublin, Georgia.
Dublin, Georgia. Is that a good subject?
That's a good southern, yes.
All right, so you're from the Credit Union of Atlanta. Tell us a little bit about the Credit Union of Atlanta. Mr. Roby just told us a wonderful story about how long they've been here in Atlanta and the establishment and all of the rich history that goes into it. So really tell us a little bit about your role there and why the Credit Union of Atlanta is a part of the organization.
Wonderful. Well, it's great to have the homegrown Atlanta organizations like the EBR and the Credit Union of Atlanta. We've been here 86 years. This is our 86th year in this community, celebrating helping the community. And what we do is help our members to build financial well-being. And so we want you to be strong financially. And how that relates to what you do here at the EBR is a strong purchaser becomes a strong homeowner, becomes a strong investment in the community, and our communities and families continue to grow.
And that raises the value.
The value, absolutely. And so it's very important, the partnership that EBR has with Credit Union of Atlanta. We're very proud of the rich heritage that we share and the ability to work through the EBR to reach members who are interested in home ownership and interested in simply learning how to be good citizens here in Atlanta.
Now, what are some of the benefits of being a part of the Credit Union of Atlanta versus those other people?
Well, we are so excited because we offer full financial services. And so not only can we help you to prepare your finances for home ownership, but simple things like saving and preparing for retirement, general checking services. We offer those there are no fees on our accounts. We're calling it now the New Credit Union of Atlanta. And what's new about it is that we've enhanced our services and enhanced our offerings to be competitive with all other financial institutions in the area. So we recommend that you do have a bank that you work through. There are some advantages there. We also recommend that you have a credit union, because the biggest advantage is that the biggest advantage is that our interest rates are going to be any rate that you can find on the market for any product. My car loan rates are 2.3% right now, with credit scores as low as 550. So although we encourage you to build the strongest credit score you can, if you've been a little bit dinged, we certainly can help.
What is a little bit dinged? Because I don't know how far a ding.
Most of our loans require a minimum score of 550.
Wow.
And we do have one product that is not credit score driven at all. And so that credit is based on relationship with us, having direct deposit with us, having been using the credit union services for 12 months or more.
Okay, so 12 months or more, I'd have that's enough time to court somebody.
That's enough time to court somebody in the financial services world.
So I'm courting you for 5.
Court with me for 5 or 6 or 12 months. Yeah, absolutely.
And then you say, hey, baby, I need a loan.
Absolutely. And the nice part about that courtship is it's not one-sided. We're certainly sitting with you, looking at your things that concern you financially and helping you step by step. One of the greatest things that we put in place that will begin taking place free for our members completely is Green Path Financial Wellness. And so we'll have counselors available pretty much from 8 in the morning till about 8 at night, Monday through Sunday. that can help you with financial situations that you're facing that you may need assistance or counseling on. We can even begin to work with creditors on your behalf. There are financial literacy classes that help you to straighten out things that have not gone as well in the past. And when you're really strong, we can certainly help point you in the direction of building long-term savings so you have that down payment for a new home when you're ready.
So Green Path is like therapy for your finances?
Absolutely. And you get that for free at the New Credit Union of Atlanta.
At the New Credit Union of Atlanta, you get therapy for your finances through Green Path.
Right. And so you can just go to our website, cuatlanta.org, cuatlanta.org, and you can find a whole list of services and products that are available to you as a member. Now, anyone, the biggest question I get when I'm in the field is, who can join? Because we used to be the City of Atlanta Employees Credit Union, and then we changed our name because we wanted to open our field of membership to anyone who lives, works, or plays in the South Side Atlanta area.
Okay.
So pretty much, even for people who don't live in the South Side of Atlanta, I pretty much have a program. If you want to work on your financial well-being, that's all you have to say to me, and I can help you to become a member of the credit union.
Okay. So, so at one point, I'm trying to understand this. So if I lived in Decatur, I could.
If you weren't an employee of the City of Atlanta originally in our history, then you were not able to join credit union.
But all of that has changed.
All of that has
changed. You guys have opened your doors.
We've opened our field of membership, and so we still have employees of the credit union of of the City of Atlanta. We have employees of Fulton County, of Atlanta Public Schools. Lots of the community stakeholders that are in Fulton and the City of Atlanta. But in addition to that, if you are interested in building your financial well-being, that's all you really need to say to us. We can help you with membership through the Getting Ahead Association, which is another financial institution that helps you with financial literacy and education to help improve your financial standing. And so that membership, our standard membership, is $25, and that's for people who do work with credit union, with City of Atlanta, with Fulton County, who are live in our field of membership. But if you live in Gwinnett and you're interested in improving your financial situation, all you have to do is call me and say that, and I will help you to join the Getting Ahead Association, and that'll be a $30 membership. Okay. And $5 of that will go to the Getting Ahead Association, and you will have the benefit of their free services in addition to the free services of the credit union. Okay.
Now, I hear all of this and all of these wonderful opportunities for financial literacy, which is a big conversation right now in the underserved communities. I love this new word.
Underserved communities, exactly.
In the underserved communities.
You know what's interesting about that? Almost everyone we touch now qualifies for the underserved community because of what's happened in our economy over the past few years. So if you were doing extremely well 5 years ago, you may have had circumstances to happen over the last few years that puts you in the underserved community. Underserved to us is anyone who makes less than $60,000 and is managing and coping on that household income.
I don't know if I'm underserved, then I must be destitute.
No, we won't go that far. But that's the importance of your financial well-being, to do more with whatever you have.
Okay.
Right, and that's what we're here to help you with.
Okay, so now you have all of these things. Do you have ways for people to connect with this content digitally outside of the website? Do you have like webinars,
Absolutely.
white papers, etc.?
We're on Facebook at Credit Union of Atlanta. We're on Twitter at Credit Union of Atlanta.
So I could just tweet you and be like, "Hey, girl,"
and you'll get me, Raquel Wells, and I'll answer you right back. And so if you have financial questions or you have some concerns and you want to talk to us about them, certainly you can go through the website. We have a team of people who work in our call center who are available from 8:30 to 5 every day, and you can call us at 404-658-6465 and match option number 1. And our call center representatives are some of the best in the business in terms of giving advice and giving service. We have a really great team of service-oriented persons working at Credit Union of Atlanta, and so we really look to just give A1 treatment to our members and anyone who is, thinking about membership. We certainly want to leave an impression in the community that we're here to help, and that's what we do. It's the new CUA.
After 86 years of service in the community, we are looking forward to another 86 years
Absolutely. We
as the
receive
new
that. The new CUA.
CUA of Atlanta.
Absolutely.
All right, and again, the website is cuatlanta.org.
Right, www.cuatlanta.org, and you can find us on Facebook and Twitter at Credit Union of Atlanta.
There we go. Once again, this is Africa Allah, and I am live at the Empire Board of Realtors, and we are celebrating Realtors Week. The Empire Board of Realtors is celebrating 75 years of service in the community, and I'm going to bring up Jerry, who is the member,
the chairman of the board.
Thank you, Africa.
one of the chairmen of the board.
The chairman.
Oh, the chair.
The chair.
I didn't know you was that
Yes.
important. All the time you. This is my good
I-
friend. I love this man. He's so pleasant. Every time I say he's like, "Hi, Africa."
Yes.
He greets me. He greets me with a greeting, and then he and I both know.
Yes. Yes,
So,
indeed.
Jerry, and now you gotta tell me more about yourself because I just thought you was just this handsome gentleman.
Oh,
I didn't know you were the chairman of the board.
apart from that.
Apart from that, okay. So Jerry, tell us
I've
a little
been-
bit about what you do here at the Empire Board of Realtors and why you joined.
Okay. Well, I've been a member since 1980. You know,
Okay.
that's 34 years, ago. I came to Atlanta in 1975. Was transferred over here from Houston, Texas, to take over the property. I've always been in the commercial real estate, aspect services. The first property I took over, those of you who have lived in Atlanta for a long time, in 1975, I came from Houston, Texas, to take over Deerfield Apartments. 376 units, out of on Hamilton Road, which is in Atlanta. And since then, I've been associated with the real estate industry. But I finally joined the Empire Board in 1980. I actually came to a meeting in 1979. But I joined Empire Board in 1980. I have worked in different capacity to help the organization. I have taught a lot of classes here, real estate related, even though I was out of the Empire Board for about 7 years because I was the adjunct professor at Clark Atlanta University.
Oh, okay. And what
from-
did you teach there?
Of course, what
Real-
else?
Okay.
Real estate principles and practices, which was a 3 at Clark Atlanta University, and also real estate investment and financing.
Mm.
And I've had a lot of graduates who work with most members as interns, and from internship, they became a member of some of the LLC. And I have a lot of success stories, about some of the people that I taught at Clark Atlanta University and also at Empire Board. I do teach continuous education credit, in property management, both residential and commercial. But for the past 6 years, I've been involved in working with the School of Real Estate.
Okay.
And also within the past 4 years, I've been a member of the executive board. And in 2012, I was the chairman of the board.
Chairman of the board.
Yes, and
Man of the
I
year.
skipped 1 year, I guess, Stacy Mollison. So what I did in 2012, so when Jeffrey Hicks, decided not to be the chairman, I was called back, with my experience to be the chairman of the board.
Okay.
And I do, of course, preside over the board meeting, which is usually the second Wednesday of every month.
Okay.
I've made a lot of contribution, both financially and needless to say, about 20 years ago, 22 years ago, I was working in terms of being involved in the representation of Empire Board trying to bid to be one of the very first, property management company to bid for the disposed properties by HUD. So more or less called a guinea pig, uh, to establish so that it can be well noticed that we are just as good in the real estate services, just as good, if not better, than some of our counterparts. So I'm very, very proud to be a member of Empire Board. I've been blessed to give to our community, and everybody that knows me knows that I always give to our community, because what I've been blessed by is not for me to keep to myself. It's to be given to those who are less blessed, because everybody is blessed by the Almighty God. But those who are less blessed than I am, it's my responsibility to give to them.
Now, Empire Board is celebrating 75 years of service to the community. What does that mean to you as the chairman of the board, as a member for 34 years? What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. First of all, this is an event that happens every year. And this is the time for us to give back, both to the community and to generations to come. Because what we're doing now, we are sitting or we're walking in the path of the Almighty God, of the path of those who began this organization. The national organization, I guess I'm giving up my age now, was incorporated 67 years ago, 1947. And believe it or not, that was the year I was born. Mm-hmm. And I have given all the way.
You don't look that old.
Yes, well, that's why
I told you, black don't cry.
But it's when you give, without having to hold back, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in God in you, when you believe that each and every one of us have to give, and giving is what you get the reward back, because anything that you give, first of all, doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the Almighty God. So when you give, you get blessed tremendously. But to answer your question again, is that what the Realtist Week means is that we're giving to the community. We expressing the fact that, don't ever forget how we got here. And what we have to do is to continue to express our thankfulness to Almighty God. And then to take 1 week, it's almost like the February. Incidentally, the month I was born, the Black History Month, So all my life is having to give, and the Realtist Week is to be able to give to the community our profession. You can imagine, 75 years ago, we couldn't even sell to ourselves without having to call, other counterpart, to get approval. When we were regarded less educated, less human, now that we've been accepted, we shouldn't have been, but we have to tell our story. And we have to tell our generations to come that they should never forget the fact that this organization has laid down the ground and provided, all the great things for us. And that's why I'm even very happy when you interviewed Mr. Rudy, because his first son is 2 years younger than I am. So you can imagine what this man has seen And believe it or not,
And
I don't think
his
we have to.
stories,
Yes.
his stories. I mean, I'm very honored to have the opportunity to document history in that form, to be able to have something that will go on for years to
Yes.
come, that people can look at and have a firsthand account of the experiences that this man has had. So
Yes.
that was an honor to be a part, to be able to do that, not only for myself, but for the real estate, for the Empire Board of Realtists, and give them something to kind of archive
Yes.
their history. That
Yes.
was an awesome opportunity.
Yes.
But thank you so much, Jerry. Thank you so much, Jerry,
It's
for
my pleasure.
participating.
As much as I always see you with a great smile and the opportunity, we just need to thank you, for having to use your intellect, to bring us the great notice or the social, network opportunities. Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
Again, we are celebrating 75 years of service to the community with the Empire Board of Realtors. And if you are online, make sure you use the hashtag EBR75 so that you can engage. We are coming to a close at the first installment of EBR75. We will begin the second installment as of April 15, 2014, where we will begin focusing primarily on the Google Plus platform and LinkedIn platforms to increase productivity for professionals. Right now, I have a young lady from the Women's Council, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the Women's Council and the Empire and her experience with the Empire Board of Realtors. I do apologize. What's your name? Well, I'm glad you didn't give me. I'm glad you didn't give me a card, because I would have messed your last name up. Paris.
Yes, Paris.
Okay.
I am the president of the Women's Council of the Empire Board of Realtors. This is my second year as president.
Okay.
And I've been a member of the Empire Board for 10 years.
Okay.
I worked on both sides. So I worked for the Empire Board side as far as, with the various committees as well. So I'm on the Women's Council side now as president. And Women's Council of the Empire Board of Realtors, we are an affiliate of the Empire Board of Realtors. We are a 40-year-old organization, local chapter. Nationally, we have a Women's Council, and we're 44 years old nationally. We have a national organization.
Okay.
We are the largest affiliate of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers as well.
Okay.
Our mission is to empower males and females in leadership roles, as well as we educate the community, and we work a lot with the youth. We do a lot of financial literacy education on the adult side as well as on the youth side. We work within the parameters of leadership as well as technology. So we provide a basket of empowering education things as well as training for our members and our guests to grow their business.
Okay. Now, it says women in the title. Is there a specific reason? Because you said it's 44 years old.
Yes.
So there's a number. You know where I'm going with it. So tell us a little bit about why.
What happened was in 1971. Well, when National Association of Real Estate Brokers was founded several years ago, of course, on the national level, they felt women, we was doing things within the organization. Of course, as times grew, we wanted to have a voice. So it was deemed that we would become part of National Association of Real Estate Brokers and have an active role and even be able to be president one day. So as they roared into the 50s, women was very involved on the national level. So
I found that interesting. For I did an interview with Mr. Roby recently, and we talked about the fact that the real estate board were one of the few organizations that actually empowered women, even though with reluctance, but they empowered women way before now they began to do so nationally.
Definitely.
So definitely continue telling me about them roaring on in the 50s.
Roaring on into the 50s. So matter of fact, in Atlanta, at one of the NAREP conventions, they decided to form a chapter for the Women's Council of National Association of Real Estate Brokers in 1971. That chapter was formed in 1971 for national level, and in 1974, Ms. Dot Kelly, Joe Richardson, and Jocelyn Peters decided that we needed a local chapter here at the Empire Board office.
Okay.
So we was formed locally, but of course, we're not going to discriminate. And we always call our guys a few good men. Chairman of the board, Jerry Latipole, he is a member. He has also served as my sergeant at arms. He's been very active with us. So, you know, I think it's always a balance. You know, they can always do some things that women just cannot do to help us out, and they bring a balance to us. So that's how it came about. We said women, you know, we carved out our piece, but of course, everybody is welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have a few good men. We encourage our men to join.
A few good men.
So that's how it came about.
But that's where it comes from. The Women's Council of the Empire, or it's an affiliate of the Empire Board of Realtors. All right. Do you guys have any programs that you're rolling out or that you're currently working on?
We do. Currently, throughout the year, we do a lot of financial literacy within the community. On average, we're doing anywhere between 10 and 12 a year.
Okay.
We have a financial literacy event that will be happening in May, May the 16th, at Faith Deliverance Church in Monroe, Georgia. That will include homeownership information, credit information, inspection information. You can talk with the loan officer if you're not sure where you stand. We do a lot of those to allow people to get themselves back together, especially since the turn of the market. That is an ongoing program all year long.
Okay.
We are also preparing for our scholarship banquet, and the scholarship banquet would be our first annual scholarship banquet. We give out scholarships every year.
Okay.
Since our conception, we probably have given out over 300-400 scholarships. That's locally. Nationally, probably close to almost 1,000, because nationally they may give 10 or 20 a year out to students. So we're preparing for our first annual scholarship banquet. That is our annual fundraising that will continue on to help raise the funds to support students in school, as well as give them a scholarship to help them get started in school.
Am I too old to apply?
I'm sorry, you are.
I'm only 22.
We geared towards, and actually last year we had it where it was mainly for us, coming out seniors. But in the past, we have had scholarships actually for people that already was in undergrad.
Okay.
So we're looking to broaden that. That's the purpose of the scholarship grant, because we want to be able to be embraced and have as many kids as possible. So we're looking to broaden that and open it up more to the 22-year-olds as well.
So how can people support that particular project, or how can people find out more information about the Women's Council?
We do have a website, and our website is Women's Council of Realtists, REALTIST without the S.com. They can also contact us at 770-873-4940.
You're going to have to repeat that.
770-873-4940. They can support the scholarship events. They can support the financial literacy events we do. We have a down payment assistance program for people that are out there that need down payment assistance for homes. So we have a basket of different things that they want just to home in on one or two events. That's fine. But we have several things that throughout the year that they can come in and join us or support.
Okay, well, there you go. For further information, make sure you visit their website. Again, this is Africa Allah, and I am here live at the Empire Board of Realtors in Atlanta, Georgia. I lost my mind, my train of thought. At the Empire Board of Realtors in Atlanta, Georgia, and we are celebrating 75 years of service to the community. This is Realtors Week, April 7th through the 12th is Realtors Week. They have been doing a series of events and will continue throughout the week. For further information, visit empireboard.org. That's empireboard.org, as we are beta testing the new rollout of their website. Please engage, support, use the hashtag EBR75 to engage on social platforms, all social platforms across the board. We will be ending the first installment of EBR 75 and begin the second installment of EBR 75 as of April 15, 2014, where we will focus more on the Google Plus and LinkedIn platforms. Once again, my name is Africa Allah, and thank you so much for joining us at the Empire Board of Realtists.